I am about to introduce you to dangerous malware you need to know about, and if you stick till the end, I will offer you a bonus malware and we will wrap up with a small exercise to see if you really understood every malware explained in this video. So let's start. First we have virus, and this is a type of malware that attaches itself to programs or files and propagates to other files or executables. For example, you got an email with an infected PDF. When you open that file, the virus wakes up. It begins copying itself into other files or programs on your computer. Now imagine this, you've sent this corrupted file to your co-workers and they send this to other. It will become a cycle of infected devices. Here are the possible things a virus can do. Delete, corrupt or replace files and programs, slow down your system, steal information, or show weird or unusual messages on your screen. Viruses like to hide unimportant system folders and frequently used programs, not just your personal files, but background processes that run all the time and are crucial to your system. A Trojan horse, or just Trojan, is a type of malware that tricks you into installing it by pretending to be something safe or useful, like a normal app or file. It's named after the Greek story of the Trojan horse, where soldiers hid inside a wooden horse to sneak into the city of Troy. Well, same idea for computers. First, it disguises itself as a gift that you may think is a normal, legitimate file or app. You can run it and use it normally, without knowing its true nature, and it will silently execute itself inside your computer. Trojans are mainly used for an attacker to gain access to your device. That's why Trojans are able to convince you to install them, and once you do, they can offer the attacker the ability to steal your credentials, spy on you using spyware, record keystrokes, open your camera or take screenshots, and mainly run another malware on your system. You need to know that malware can work together, so someone can infect your computer with a Trojan to gain access to your device, and from there run a virus that must infect, for example, your boot sector or your hard drive. A logic bomb is a piece of malicious code that sits inside a program and waits for a specific condition to happen. Then it does something bad. The condition could be a date, a particular file being deleted, a user logging in, or any exact event the programmer programmed it. When the condition is met, the logic bomb explodes and performs its job. These logic bombs can be inserted in an app's source code, a startup script, or an installer, and they wait for a certain condition to execute. They may delete, corrupt, or even encrypt your files so you don't have access to it, or run other malware that can do more damage. Ransomware. This is a type of malware that locks or encrypts your files and demand money or ransom to unlock them. Let us say you were infected by a Trojan because you thought this online game seems legit. What happens is that you run your application, but internally the Trojan is preparing to execute a ransomware, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a ransom note appears on your screen. It says that your files are encrypted, and to get the decryption key, you must pay a huge amount in cryptocurrency for secrecy, and if you refuse, the attacker will threaten you into deleting your files and making your system unusable. And keep in mind, sometimes paying the ransom might not guarantee you to get your files back. A backdoor is any hidden way for someone to get into a computer, app, or system by bypassing normal authentication. The attacker usually uses a Trojan to trick victims into installing the software. Then, once the user executes the software, the Trojan installs internally a malicious program called Backdoor. This malware will stay in your system, granting the attacker full access to your system, and you have no idea about it. The example I gave you is now called Remote Access Trojan. This is where you use Trojan and backdoors together. With that backdoor, the attacker can record keystrokes, also called key logging, install other malware, view your camera, or use your PC to infect other systems. A worm is a type of malware that self-replicates and spreads automatically across computers and networks, without needing you to open an infected file. It first finds a vulnerable system and compromises it. Then it replicates itself and searches for other vulnerable systems over the network and infect others. Now, some worm just propagates, but some other may drop malware like Trojan, ransomware, or virus. If you're confused between worms and viruses, well, keep this in mind. Worm spreads automatically across a network, no human needed, while viruses needs a user to run or share that infected file. You stayed this far? Here's the bonus. Let's talk about the rabbit malware. And no, I don't mean those cute rabbits. Well, they're quite the opposite. A rabbit is a malware that keeps copying itself inside your computer at high speed, eating up all memory and processing power until your system crashes. It doesn't spread to other computers like worms do, it just multiplies uncontrollably on one device. The result? Your computer slows down or freezes completely, so its main goal is simply to exhaust your system. Here's an exercise. Identify all the malware used in this scenario. Your friend sends you a cracked game that seems legit. However, it internally runs secretly and installs a malware allowing the attacker to gain access where they will record keys and steal information, and when you try to delete the game, a ransom note appears. Guess all the malware used in this program or scenario and make sure to comment below, and I will see you in the next video.